Welcome to Sacred Source Tarot. My name is Aisha, and today we're delving into whether you can trust this person. So this might be a new person that has come into your space, or it might be a relationship that has kind of been, evolving over time, and you're kind of not confused, but you find it very peculiar with this relationship because it's something you haven't experienced before. And so you're left a little bit uneasy. You're kind of left with questions. Can I trust this person? What are the intention? It could be a love relationship. It really could be a business partnership, a new friendship. But because it's something you haven't experienced before, you're kind of not sure what is really happening in this relationship. So we're going to look at what this person's intention is, whether this person can be trusted, whether this relationship is beneficial to you and the other person, and just an overall sort of advice from spirit and your higher self on the situation itself. So we'll start out with looking at what this person's intention is, and then let's get our first card. Let the reading guide us. All right. Okay. So we've got our first card, if I can pick it up. So, wow. Okay, that is very, very interesting. We've got the Ace of we've got the Ace of Swords there. So, interesting. Very much someone who's going to come in, funny enough, you don't feel it, but this person is bringing a lot of clarity, and it's almost making you question things about yourself and maybe some of your beliefs. So I almost feel like this person is really like a person who brings clarity and truth. And also what I'm picking up with here, yes, it is a relationship that is either new or it's transitioning into a different kind of relationship, or it's how you move through different stages in a relationship. So it's moving into a different stage in the relationship, and you're kind of left with but I do feel like this person's intentions are quite honest and very straightforward. Okay, they may be here to offer you a different perspective and cut through all the confusion that you've had in the past. And that is something new for you. That is where you're like, this is not the usual that I'm used to. And so for some, it might be like a breath of fresh air, but for others, it might be a little bit confusing. But don't let it be confusing. This person really brings through like this straightforward type of situation and clarity and truth, and they're being like really honest and straightforward. And but what I also am picking up, and it's just like it's coming to me, is that this person can sometimes be a little bit cutthroat. Although their intentions are very pure, they're very straightforward with their words, very blunt, and to you that might come across as a bit harsh. Sorry, I'm finding this a little bit funny. It might become off a little bit harsh, but they really do have true intentions. And so they're making you question a lot of the things that you're kind of, in your space. Maybe it's personal things, and they're like, oh yeah, I'm not calling you out for your bull crap in a very negative way, but do you see yourself? Do you see where you went wrong? Do you see how you can fix it? That type of really cutthroat, I don't want to say cutthroat, but very straightforward, but really has the best intentions for you. Funny, very funny. Funny because I'm kind of like cutthroat sometimes. Oh, wow, definitely. Card number 2, we've got the 2 of Cups. Definitely a partnership here. A union. I do pick up with the number 2, harmony, and this mutual respect. So there's this like balance, and this person is really coming through as a genuine person. So if you feeling, what can I trust this person? Yes, they're really straightforward. They're really trustworthy, straightforward people. They seem well placed in themselves, and you guys are building quite an interesting bond between the two of you. One where there is, again, like I said, mutual benefit and mutual respect. And if this is like a romantic relationship, this experience is very new for you. If it's a professional relationship, it's also kind of new for you because you've had other business partnerships that weren't so, I'd say, balanced and maybe structured, so to speak. But we'll see with the other cards what, more into the reading. But it's a very beautiful, harmonious relationship coming in here. Be open-minded. They are different to what you're normally used to. And that is what's making you sort of like, oh no, what's going on here? Because it's not the usual that you're used to. So we're going to pull out card number 3. Ha! The Emperor. That is beautiful. Okay, so is this relationship going to be beneficial for the both of you? So I do, like I said, I do pick up a lot of structure. So I do pick up a person or an individual who's very intellectually inclined, very structured in their approach, communicates really, really, really well, and kind of has a sense of order in their life. And it keeps having to be like, although this was the Ace of Swords right over here, I do pick up on a bit of an earth energy, a person who's either one of the earth zodiac signs, or a person who is really inclined to being very structured. Like an authority figure. They are going to bring a lot of solid foundation to this relationship. There is a lot of discipline and the sense of control. And for a person who needs this in their space, this is really going to bring some sense of structure, especially in spaces where you're feeling a little bit unstructured, a little bit like, oh no, they really bring that stability in your space. One thing that Spirit's coming in with me is just be mindful of maybe some of the power dynamics that may come through, because they're a very, very, very strong individual. Although you are too, but because of how they are so very structured and orderly, there can be a little bit of that imbalance in that respect. But I think because of the person that they are, you need to match that energy. And so if you feel like you are being overpowered in certain instances, I think having a very straightforward, factual conversation about, hey, so this is what's happening, this is how I'm feeling, and create some healthy boundaries. But otherwise, definitely balance and mutual respect here. So I would definitely think this is a beneficial relationship. You guys are going to benefit from each other. I'm picking up someone who's a little bit more free-spirited and someone who's more structured, and the two of you really going to balance each other off. Business partnership, you guys are going to have like the strategic planning and outlook on what it is that you're trying to achieve, and a lot of structure. That's maybe something that you've been missing in whatever it is that you've been trying to do. And that's why it's a bit odd for you to get this person who's like, and you're like, oh, wait, this is not what I'm used to. But you actually need this in your space. So I definitely do think this will be beneficial for the both of you from two different types of personalities. I like this a lot. This is very interesting. So overall, some overall advice on the situation? I've got you the King of Swords. I do feel like with the situation, you really need to go in. Yeah, it's definitely that. You need to go in with a bit of wisdom and clarity and be very kind of match their energy, especially because, like I said, they're very intellectual, and they navigate their relationships from that intellectual perspective. And I do think they're very fair, they're very logical, and you're more intuitive. So you want to kind of tap into that as well and go, okay, well, if you want to meet them at their level, be on that level, but also bring in some of your intuition, because that also, helps us make the best decisions regarding people and a person. And then it ends up bringing out the best qualities in you, because you're an intuitive being. Logic. No, I make decisions because it feels good. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. In fact, it's beautiful. But this person is bringing this balance into your space. And you guys will be able to make really, really good decisions together with that balance in play. But make sure that you communicate very clearly. Set your intentions, set your boundaries, and trust that the person is understanding you. They may not necessarily, and I'm picking up, they may not actually necessarily say they understand you. They will, right? But you'll feel like, I don't think they do. Trust me, they do. Wait until you see their actions. Because they're like, very calm, logical beings. And you're like, do you get me? And they're like, yeah. And you're like, what do you mean? You don't. Because you're not, no. They get you. Watch their actions. They're very, very, very I keep getting strategic thinker. It's like, I hear you. I may not be jumping up for joy and jumping around like a crazy person, but I definitely hear you. So give them a moment, watch their action, and then also make sure that you set the boundaries, because I do feel like there's a sense of overpowering you. You may feel that, although that's not their intention. Okay, I really would like to just bring in one more card to close off the reading. Just a message from more your higher self. The person who has really experienced this relationship, who wants to give you a little bit of guidance about this relationship, and maybe something about yourself to navigate this new relationship. So I'm going to pull out from the Intuition Oracle deck. I love this, especially when it's like you just need inner guidance, right? So we've got here the Forgiver. Look at that. Forgive yourself and others with compassion for our human frailties. So we're all not perfect. And this also means that you need to learn to forgive yourself. So sometimes what happens in relationships is we bring in old past traumas and wounds, and we bring them into new relationships based on our old, experiences. And so the moment we get like any sort of remembrance of that past, we bring it into the new relationship, and then we almost want to sort of repeat all that old stuff, and we don't want to do that. So whatever it is that you need to forgive, whether it be yourself, in fact, that's where the forgiveness really truly starts, is forgiving yourself. What's really funny here is that we've got Cupid coming in, and it's like and the bird there may see over this relationship, and you're kind of like wanting to walk away. You want to walk away, or you're just like, this is not for me, or this is confusing, I don't want to interact with it. Not specifically this relationship, but just how you relate in different relationships. And they see this, you can forgive and you can move past this. And forgiveness really starts with yourself, because sometimes we get ourselves into situations and we blame ourselves, or we get guilty based on maybe our own actions. And forgiving yourself is really freeing. Now, let's not also get entangled with the idea of forgiveness. Quantum entanglement, that's what I pick up. Let's not get entangled in the idea of forgiveness, because forgiveness doesn't mean, oh yeah, I forgive you. Because what that does is it's like this hierarchy of you're wrong and I'm right, so I forgive you. And that's really just not the way, because that's like it's creating this division of duality, right? So what it is that you actually want to do is, from a point of acceptance, really go into that point, accept what you've experienced was horrible, accept what the person has done, accept what maybe you have done, accept that you may have felt guilty about it, accept those things. Acceptance, that, my dear darlings, is true forgiveness. When you accept this person and what has happened, by accepting that, and I keep using the word accepting, you're really moving to forgiveness, because there is no entanglement when you accept it. It's like you release, And then you can release that person, you can release that situation, you can release what it is that you've done, that you feel like oh no, I've done such a terrible thing. When you accept it, you move past it. And I know it's a difficult practice, but that's how we can really truly practice forgiveness. Because we're like, yeah, I forgive you, but then boom, something happens and it reminds you of that situation and the emotions that are attached to it, and that's that quantum entanglement. It's like, I forgive you. Acceptance releases. So yes, please do release what you need to release so that you can move into this relationship, because this is one that is going to be very interesting. So if you're in this relationship and you kind of see it unfolding, do leave a comment in the comment section. I'm curious to see what relationships this is for you. Love or business partnership, and I feel like for some it's business partnership, for some it's love, but it's a very new and interesting relationship. And again, possibilities open up when you open up and you move past and you forgive yourself and you forgive others through acceptance. Acceptance is true forgiveness. Thank you so much for watching and sticking by. If this resonated, please leave a comment. I'm curious to know what this relationship is, or what this relationship is moving into. This union card here could be marriage, could be the next step of the relationship. Let me know what it is. And thank you for sticking by to the end. And lots of unconditional love. Don't forget to subscribe and like whatever video that resonates with you. Thank you so much. Mwah.